Okay, here we go. We're live. Computer, turn the volume up. Computer, turn the volume up. Computer, turn the volume up. Yeah, I do that a couple times apparently. Alright. Okay. You guys let me know if I'm having any audio issues. Oops. I will do my best to correct it. Here we go. Next. Yeah, that song was a bit out there, wasn't it? Okay. Guys, I apologize that it's taken me a little longer than anticipated to get all this going. Hey guys, thank you so much for the likes and the shares. Appreciate it. Hey, Void Star, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's coming along. I think it's gonna be really cool when it's all done. I was looking up on kind of like kind of browsing online a little bit, and apparently it's quite the community out there of you know, people that like to conceptualize further evolutions and mashups and stuff. And I don't think I've seen the Darkrai and Mimikyu yet, but Darkrai, I think it's Darkrai. I think I've been saying Darkrai, but Darkrai. But I think that combination is way cooler for the most part, like a really cool one. And essentially Mimikyu could be anything. It just has in the lore like a grudge against Pikachu for some reason, and I feel like there might be an episode on that, but I haven't figured it out yet if there is. But yeah, it's a well received Pokemon with kind of a, you know, relatable setup that he wants to be liked, and Pikachu is like the most liked Pokemon, so it makes a ton of sense. I think it's pretty neat. And I think this mashup is gonna be like really dope when it's all done. It's gonna take a lot of time though. I mean, this pencil's not laying down the easiest on this particular paper, but it's looking good, so that gives me a little bit of confidence in it. And when I read up on this paper, it's like, oh yeah, no, it works great with colored pencil. And I'm like, the plate surface does not work great with colored pencil. So, personal review, not the best. But, it's working out. It's gonna come together. It's taking a little bit more time than I'd like. I was thinking to try and pastel board. It might be too much, unless I'm trying to lay it on, you know, thicker, but I might be able to put more layers in too. So I had thought about it. I just might eat up pencil like crazy, so I might use a cheaper one, which I think might work out just fine because I have some really cheap ones that might lay down really nicely on pastel board. But I'm trying to get illustration board, and apparently everyone is sold out of it. So if anyone knows a source where I can get some pastel board or illustration board, let me know. I don't have a Staples, and apparently Staples has it, but illustration board vellum heavyweight is what I'm trying to get a hold of. It's kind of like a thick cardboard almost, like it's mounted, pre-mounted. And I think it'll probably do pretty nicely. I thought about canvas board and then putting some gesso on it and seeing how that does. There's some that are pre-gesso, but it's like too much texture, so I'm thinking maybe a little bit of gesso. But I'm gonna experiment. I got some mini canvas things that might work. We'll see. Hey, cowgirl, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful. Pardon, I'm losing my voice. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Check the TikTok here. Guys, thank you so much for the likes. Hi, Amelia. How are you? Thank you for joining and checking this out. What do you think if you're still watching? I might have missed you. I apologize. I mean, I will say the one thing nice about this paper, although it's really difficult to put down a lot of layers, the blending is phenomenal. The downside, I can't put white. The white just becomes a burnisher, and I can't do much with it. So that's kind of the bummer for that. Let's come together. When I see it, from far away, I think it looks pretty dope. Let's finish up this section right here, which I'm gonna need to bring it down just a bit more on the darker tones. Like so. I think I would like to have something that required a little bit less effort to put the color pencil down. Just not necessarily eat it up, but just take it better. Hey Neil, thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. If you guys haven't checked out Neil Asoy at all yet on YouTube, or he hasn't come across your feed, check him out. He does a lot of art stuff as well. Absolutely phenomenal art and graphic design stuff. For all of you asking me if I do digital art, he would be one to check out for some of that digital stuff. I might get back into traditional or digital art one day, but for now I really enjoy pen and paper. Probably worry about those highlights later. Just need to add a little bit of more vibrant red in there, a little more saturated. Too much, maybe? Smidgen. Let's tone it down a little. Still too bright. Alright, so how are we feeling on the glow effect, essentially? I feel like I need to add, this is like too white right here. Tone it. So I'll give a little tone. You never really want to have like a pure white. Unless it really demands it, but that to me is kind of like what comes up after you've applied everything to it, but realistically you would blend it just keeps it from looking like flat or artificial. So essentially you put down, like in an ideal world where white can create a highlight. Unlike this paper, I can't really do that. I might have to do a whiteout technique for it. But you would put down a little bit of color, and then you'd go in with white, and it wouldn't make it pure white, but it would make it look brighter. So you got to think about your kind of your contrast with everything, your values, and eventually it will look correct. But it looks more seamless, less, I don't know what the right word is for it, tasty, like, it should just always be a little something. And then you can always kind of add a little bit more brightness to it later. Alright, so unless I see anything else, I'm calling the collar portion here of the darkrai mimikyu mashup. Done for now. I'll probably end up touching up as I usually do everything. But I think it looks dope, so I'm gonna go with it. Now, I think I'm gonna tackle some of the lightning just a bit so that I can get the lighting on these shoulders looking really dope. So let's see. We'll go with this side first. Starting. Now whenever you're doing a background too that's going to be coming in, adding a little extra to blend into your existing lines is kind of a neat little deal because it will just add to the effect a little. You can make it, you know, it's completely hard-lined if you wanted, but I just feel like it gives it a bit of its own kind of glow or aura. And there's different methods, but I'm kind of thinking of a lightsaber when it comes to this and doing the you know, the color on the outside and then bringing it in. I'm definitely gonna have to use whiteout to make that really glow. Or scrape it off. I could do that too. Just see which one I like more. Guys, thanks for the likes. Thanks for the follow. Baby oil, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Why are the cheeks different? Okay, so this one, this side I added kind of like stitches, and on this side it's just kind of raggedy, like not as torn. I could have kept it almost the same, I guess. That's just what I decided to go with. I had another thought of extending mouth up here. I just don't know if I like that much mouth in there. Thought I kind of liked like this. It looks a little bit more on the deranged side, I guess. But and I kind of want this lightning to particularly have ghost and electric effects to it, because he's mimicking Pikachu. But then if you've seen Darkrai's abilities, it's similar to that too. So I don't know. It's a combo essentially. Very powerful Pokemon in this form. I mean, Darkrai was already powerful enough, and then you add Mimikyu to it. It's like kind of a very deadly duo. So alright, now let's start this shoulder. I need to probably add just a couple highlights when I do this. For the most part, I can keep my original idea for it. one of those weird songs. Not a huge fan of weird songs. And I might try to make these look a little more ghosty. It's just if I remember to do that. But I think in this form he's a little bit more solid. And that's just, you know, creative freedom or license, or whatever you want to call it, creative license. I don't know, something like that. So I'm just highlighting my darkest points. I'm taking some design into effect like you would in any other aspect of art. So it's design elements like I would do like a vectorizing or something like that. just want to point out, it's also really good practice. Hold your pencil in different ways. Just good exercise. Get comfortable with it. Alright, we're going to start with the darkest part first and work our way out. Now. What's up, Christopher? How are you? This is a, I call it mimikyu. It's a darkrai and mimikyu evolution combined. Two ghost fairy type Pokemon combined into one. What is a good exercise? Holding your pencil a different way. Just, you know, in areas where you can be a little bit more abstract, holding it this way, holding it this way. Trying to think what other ways there are. I don't know, just in any of the different methods. It's always a good idea. Yep. I swear to God, I just like skipped this song. Next. There we go. Hopefully a little less irritating. Now, these are my darkest areas. Basically just solid black. Probably gonna go through this a little quicker. But I'm just gonna take my time, make it look right. That'll look better than if I go too fast, too hard on the paper, especially. One other tip I could probably give that might help just a little bit here and there. Never leave your line on a solid point. So if you start a line and you go forward with it, don't end it on a stop. Always kind of brush it. Makes it look a lot better. Doesn't affect the overall look. Unless that's what you're going for, then every stroke almost essentially needs to be consistent in every area or it's going to look funny. That just means like if I do that, I kind of need to do that throughout the entire thing until I fill it. So it gets that same texture throughout the drawing. Kind of resembles like paint strokes and stuff. So if I did this all the way through, I would need to do that all the way through drawing. But I tend to like to do little circles and sort of like mix it around. Sometimes I'll hatch and then you just go a different direction to get blended in. Oh, hey, thanks. I appreciate you stopping by and saying hi and everything. If you haven't followed, please do. I'll keep, anytime I work on this, I'll be live. So, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Have a wonderful rest of the day. lighter value and this darker tone kind of does this shape. It swoops down into there, darker. And then the rest is almost all black. There's a slightly lighter tone right here. And I think I'll just, I don't know. I'll decide if I want to add anything there. If I do, I'll add that. Blend it in. Oh, and I was going to say the other method, you hold your pencil more at an angle up here on the grip instead of down here. You see a lot of people holding it down here. It's okay to go up here a little bit, and that helps with blending and consistency so that it looks more solid. Try to shift between how you hold the pencils, you know, where you press, because that will ease up the stress on your finger. Also, better paper helps too. Less pressure needed. Yeah, exactly. Yep. I choke up on it when I'm gonna go dark, so that works out just fine. But yeah, for the most part, most of my stuff I like to be back here in light and just take my time, because the blending it creates is really cool. Since this is darkrai and mimikyu, and there's kind of this element of horror or darkness to it, the scratchiness kind of works. So I can be a little bit more careless in some areas, which is pretty neat. But yeah, Christopher, thank you so much, man, for hanging out and everything. I don't want to keep you, obviously. Oh, okay. Nice. Am I just forgetting? Like, have we've interacted before? Am I just forgetting? Maybe I am. I'm just having a day. Can't seem to remember names or something. I apologize. Okay, yeah, I feel like I'm starting to remember it. I do apologize, yeah. You see so many names and no faces, it's sometimes hard to remember everyone. And then it does. Let's see, where's my other reference photo? Yeah, it's kind of more darker on this bottom side. And then it goes up like this. It's kind of sculpting with the shapes here. Got that slightly lighter value. I'll probably put blue in here because the background's going to be blue-ish. Yeah, well, and you know, I remember a lot of people's gamer tags down the road. It just takes a while. And it's weird. I start recognizing everyone by their gamer tag before I recognize them by their real name sometimes. time are we at? 11:30? Okay. I'm doing good. I gotta keep to a schedule today. I work for myself now. Since I was let go from my more recent job, I still have a job. I have a second job. I had 2 jobs. But during the day, I am on my own. So, probably be on for another hour or so, and then I have to get started working on my other work. More learning. I feel like I'm always learning something new. And that's fine. It just, at some point, it's nice to just kind of have some routine. I'm sure we can all relate. But you know when you put on your application attention to detail? I think I've nailed it. True skill. Yep. I love learning, don't get me wrong. It's just at some point I'd like to master a job and make consistent amount of money. I mean, doing art has its moments, but I mean, you could sit on a piece for a long time until you're gonna make decent money with it. What's the hardest for you? You know what I think I'll do? Since I want to make this arm a bit ghosty, I'll just kind of draw it in and finish it real quick. Because I don't want it to be really too solid. This way, when I go into it with that background color, I can blend it through, and it'll look. There will be a little bit there, but it will be more blended. Oh yeah, learning in general. I know what you mean. I don't know. I feel like I have to at least learn a little something new every day. Have some sort of like realization about something new that kind of blows my mind, you know? Just to feel that little bit of dopamine rush. But I work in a field of that analyzes, so I'm always constantly analyzing, learning something new, to some regard. And even though I've been working in some fields for years, my current one, I'm a supervisor for children with autism. I still research things, look at things, and learn something new. It's a blast. You know, So that's something that we talk about that I talk about with my parents, and that's kind of one of the struggles between that and school, is the what do we want to work on the most? What do we want to teach them? What do we want to? Should it be life skills? Should it be are they going to be independent, stuff like that, with my kiddos. And I think there's a hard realization that I feel very empathetic towards for the parents, that there's a chance they might not be independent, and it can make it very difficult. So when we teach certain things between school and home, it's gonna lack a balance. And I always kind of talk about how we kind of need more of a balance between home and school for the different things being taught. But yeah, that's one of the common things I come across. I also can't tell. Yeah, so I'm just kind of piggybacking off that. But okay, so you're saying I'm not. It kind of sucks. I'm not. It kind of sucks. Special ed and translatable. Yeah. What are you talking more academically or life skills? That it's difficult to learn or translate the things you did or didn't learn, I guess. I know it's a very odd question to ask. Like, it's kind of all over the place, so I apologize. I will say there's a lot of things, even as a kid, you don't learn unless you experience it through life. Like, they didn't teach me taxes. I mean, they kind of did, but not very well. I learned how to use Excel over summer school, which didn't really help me with math. The teacher just thought, it'll kind of help you with it. Things teach kind of helps, I guess. So... Oh, yeah. I hear you. I mean, I wouldn't say that, I'm the most independent person. We all have to rely on family sometimes. And sometimes, how do I put this? The roles can be different in different settings. For me, because I got recently let go, my role shifted, and now my lady makes more than I do. And so I rely on her for a lot of things, while I attempt to get more of my stuff sold. Does that make sense? So yeah, not everything, I don't know how to explain it. School, especially when we're kids, is kind of like a basic level. It's not what you learn in adulthood. That's where experience, you learn everything there. And that takes time. You have to make mistakes and be okay making mistakes. So... everything's a life lesson, somehow, some way. Everything's an experience, and eventually it all comes together. We just have to be patient and see how that might happen. But I will say the continuous, nonstop, I guess, suck of the real world at times does get old and frustrating. You just want a normal day of going through it, you know. Some predictability is okay too, some days. Yes, Void Start. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. I got a lot more blending to do when it comes to this here, but this is the darkest black, and it's kicking my butt on my hand. My hand is like cramping something fierce here, so I'm just trying to push through. I only got about 45 minutes left, so, and then I have to go do my next job. There's a chance I'll be on again tonight, though. I'll probably dedicate quite a bit of time to this because I really want to see it come out and be done, but I feel like it's going to take me at least 100 hours. We'll see. I tend to like to work on other stuff too. I still have a giant Power Ranger poster, and then I have some commission work I got to do. So I don't know who recently got to me on commission work, but if you're watching, I haven't gotten back to you because I'm working on some other ones right now, but I will. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Void Start. You know, so Christopher, you can apply, and you don't have to do this specific suggestion, but those skills of art and music apply to us so many different areas in the different industries. For instance, I studied architecture for a year, not officially, but I absorbed books, magazines, different other artists and how they're doing concepts. And the concept art, you don't have to worry too much on structural integrity and accuracy. So that is just creating this concept of what it looks like, and then another architect will actually kind of transform that into the structural necessities and then create their concept art from it too. And as far as music goes, like kind of what I'm listening to right now, like we need more music that's copyright free that won't get us infringed on for streaming. And I can't afford to pay $5 to $10 a month in addition to other things until I start making money, from all the subs and things like that. But and I'm starting this out kind of newer, so let's see. Call you Void, yeah. All right. Yeah, same here. I think I was like 10 or 12 when I got my first instrument, and I've been doing music ever since. I had piano before that, and just enjoy picking it. Anything I can play some tunes on here and there. I just like messing around, coming up with new sounds and stuff. It's fun. Do I teach myself everything? Self-teach. Self-taught. Yeah, yes and no. As far as art goes, I mean, yeah, I have a graphic design degree, but that didn't teach me art skills as far as drawing and things. However, I can take the design elements and translate it to what I'm doing here. So there is that aspect of it. And kind of how to achieve things, and then it's just a matter of refining that as you go, getting texture and other stuff. So. Yeah, I know, but I don't want to get copyright strikes and all that. I put a lot of time into one account, and I hate getting that. Used to have an eBay. I used to buy things, refurbish it, clean it up, resell it, and I was making a couple grand a month doing just some fun vintage cameras, like old Pentax and Canon and Fuji and other brands that you've probably never heard of for cameras. And then they added that 14-day guarantee return crap, and basically people would buy things, take a part they wanted from it or break it, and then return it 14, like literally at the 14-day mark. And it was a huge scam that basically took over. So I don't do that anymore, but I can't get my account back because they said, oh, I had too many returns and too many other things. So I basically, did the best I could and still got sort of trashed for it. It's unfair, but I can't get my account back. So I'm trying to play by the rules for the most part. I don't know how everyone else does it, though, because I'd rather play more heavy metal style of music. I wonder if there's probably even a playlist for it. But anyways. Yeah, I don't know that I want to be particularly reliant on like ads, ad revenue or subscription revenue, stuff like that. But if it helps, it helps. I'd rather be successful for my art. If I end up becoming successful because of both, like haphazardly, like my content's art and everything else kind of becomes successful, that's fine with me. Oh, awesome. Yeah. I think that's neat. She goes around with that plush. That's cool. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Yeah, a guy from Japan. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I'll say I think here the most common Pokemon still, as far as plushes go, are the basic ones. That the OG Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Pikachu. I do see Jigglypuff and what's the other one that's sort of like Jigglypuff? The more cuddly looking ones in the pillows or whatever, but. Oh yeah, I'll have to check that out. I feel like I've heard One Assassination Under God before. Oh yeah. You know what? I cut the tags off on some of mine too. It's for me. I'm not gonna collect it and keep it in pristine condition just to look at it. Sometimes some of the things I have are mine. It's for me. So, Arts Pops, heyo, how you doing? Thanks for dropping in and saying hi. Or heyo. Oh, dude, don't sweat. Yeah, no, like seriously, plushes are really cool, and so yeah, it doesn't matter how old you are. Like adults made these things, like you have to like it in order to make it. You gotta know what people like. I feel like so. Yeah, no, don't feel bad. But alright, Pops, I'm doing great. I'm just staying busy. I need to figure out how to turn off that alert thing on TikTok, why that always keeps going on. It's like, oh, there's no activity. It's like, yeah, there is. Anyways. Yeah, doing well. Just keeping busy. Yeah, I'm that way. Okay, so Millennium Falcon's one of my favorites, so I collect those. I have some models that I've done where I make them look more like movie realistic and add details and stuff and weather it up. It's fun for me. And I take regular toys and do that too, and kind of mash them up and other things. And when I tell some people kind of what I do as a hobby, they're like, okay? They don't quite get it. And then they see it and they're like, oh, holy crap, you know, that's really cool. So, never feel bad is the lesson. I kind of feel like if you become an adult and you don't have hobbies, you're missing something in life. And that, or interests. Hobbies are interests. You know, that could be reading a book, a certain kind of TV show, stuff like that. Some of us just like physical objects more that, you know, resemble the things we like. So, nothing wrong with that. You might be noticing how I'm going different directions. I'm not trying to smooth it out necessarily. I'm trying to add like a directional texture to some of this material that makes his like shoulder, ghost, I don't know what you call them, but yep, you know, that's what I hope for someday, is that I'll have the, you know, like last of the existing items, you know. It'll be worth something. I collect Hot Wheels as well, but I only collect Batmobiles and Star Wars spaceships. I don't really even collect the Star Wars Hot Wheel like cars, but I have a few. Mostly the ones that are commonly harder to find. But Hot Wheels are small, they're easy to keep. I try to keep the boxes pristine, but usually in the store they're not even pristine, so it's really complicated. But just to have a little fun, on my desk I have this here. It's a Mandalorian in a DeLorean. So I plan to one day add some like LEDs, fiber optics on it, and make it look cool, but haven't gotten to it. Oh yeah, nice. I've done a little bit of that. I do more with toys, and I'll cut them apart and then put them back together with like a molding. It's a putty that becomes hard as rock. So I do some of that. Like action figures that are stiff, I'll put them in different positions and weather them up and paint them and stuff like that, sand them. Yeah, I've wanted to do more making my own entirely from scratch and see what that turns out. I usually get more frustrated than it does come out well, but dude, I can't even tell you how many McDonald's toys I have. Yeah, it's like a green stuff. Yep. It's in a tube, and then it wants to keep coming out once you start. So you have to put the cap back on right away. It's something like that, yeah. Oh, I don't even know if I have the tube on me. Let me see. No, I don't have it. But hold on, I'm gonna be right back. Show you something cool. Okay, so one of the things I've done that I've made from somewhat scratch is I've made. Might be zoomed in a little too much. Let me see if I can back this out just a little bit here. Is I have made a lightsaber out of a metal pipe. Like, this is all stuff you can get from the hardware store. So, not done, but certainly a work in progress. I gotta add the wraps to it yet, and I think I was gonna try to add like an LED in it just so it lights up and looks cool on the wall. So. Commander, hello, thank you. I think it'll look better once I get further along, like even more saturated and everything. It's a little basic right now. Yeah, Arts Pops, I'll try to be on tonight. I will try to announce it too ahead of time, but no guarantees. But I'll try to be on almost every day about 10 o'clock in the morning to noon, so the last 2 hours. If you're in a different time zone, whatever that was. Yeah, yep, exactly, a little bit. I was kind of going for just what I thought looked cool, and for the part where the blade would come out, this is one of those wrench things that you see on like TikTok and stuff, or you know, any of those. And this is a weird nut or a screw. I don't know if I can show you very well. But it's just a nut or a screw that, I don't know, it just made it look, I just held it in there and it just makes it look like it's got something that would come out of there. A beam of light. So. It's heavy as heck. Like it wouldn't pass in a cosplay prop thing at a convention or anything like that, Comic-Con or any of those. So, but it's cool. Everyone likes to pick up something and go, holy crap, it's heavy and feels real, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna drill a hole in there, add a button, all that jazz. I just haven't gotten to it. Right now it just looks cool as a decoration, since that's majority of the time what it's gonna be. I just want it to light up. I think it would look so cool on the wall, and the reflection's gonna be the blade. So, I mean, I thought about putting like a NeoPixel core in it or something like that, or whatever the newest, greatest one is. I haven't decided. But it's just a fun hobby that I did while my lady was getting her hair done. I just went to Home Depot next door and just shopped around for parts. So, sparked a lot of conversation with some of the workers. It was fun. I'm able to get such a range with just this black and value that I'm like thinking might be kind of cool to see if I can do like a regular realism portrait with it. Because I can get it really light and smooth consistently, and I can get really dark too, so I don't know. I think it'd be cool. Technically there should be, I can add that on the outside here. There should be a reflection of light on this side. What kind of games am I into? Good question. Lately I've been playing a lot of COD 6. Was playing Fortnite, and that's mostly because that's what everyone else is playing. So all my friends are on there, and we just have a good time hanging out and shooting the crap out of each other. When I'm not playing those, I'm playing like No Man's Sky, Batman, Arkham Knight. I've probably done like 10 to 15 run-throughs of that game. Never gets old for me. Lately, I just picked up Star Wars, or was it Jedi Survivor? And I have played Jedi Fallen Order through like 4 times. Helldivers, alright. Okay, so I'm OG on Helldivers, I think, if it's the same series, but I play it on PS Vita. Like, I think it's the same Helldivers. I'm not entirely sure. And then there's also a Helldivers on 3DS, but I don't think that one ever worked for me. I think it was absolute crap, if I recall. But I played it on PS Vita, so if it's the same game, I don't even know if it's like the same genre. It might just be the same title. But that's cool. Okay. You know, I haven't played that one yet. Yeah, I love MMO games. I was doing World of Warcraft for the longest time. Yeah, I heard Marvel Rivals is real big too. Haven't gotten into that one yet. My time is mostly spent doing this or my other job, other two jobs. So my time for games is like about 2 hours a night. Maybe sometimes 3 or 4 if I'm staying up late. Yeah, a lot of games are doing the free to play, and then you gotta buy a lot of things to really make it a little bit more fun, which is okay. But I miss the games that don't need internet and can still be online or whatever based in multiplayer. So I also play a lot of retro games from my childhood. That's a good portion of my time being spent on those, like Pokemon and stuff like that on the original systems. Yeah. I don't know, there's just something about them and they're not making them much anymore, and all we get are remakes. And that's, to me, very frustrating that all we're getting is remakes. Remakes, remasters. So, same with movies, by the way. I know this is slightly changing the subject just temporarily, but have you seen the new trailer for How to Train Your Dragon? Arts Pops, take care. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, okay, Commander, thanks. Well, if you get a chance to check out that trailer, it's basically a frame for frame. It looks like the same animations as the movie. It's like they just took it and just remastered them and then threw in live actors. So I'm a little almost disappointed. I thought we were getting kind of a new rendition of the movie entirely. And it looks like just a straight copy like the other Lion Kings and all that. But this looks like the same CGI from the animated movie placed into a human live action. Like, it doesn't look like they try to change up anything. So, I don't know how I feel about it. But yes, Metroidvania. Metroid's one of my favorite games. I play that on 3DS and Switch kind of often, and then the original Game Boy Advance and Super Nintendo and regular Nintendo. Not the biggest fan of regular Nintendo, but still play it for the lore, story, and stuff. So. Yeah, they really missed the mark a little bit, because it's like, I can understand doing that, but give us something new to it. A different, not a completely different version, but enough of a different version to, not just keep making money off the same old thing. Or make something new entirely. Carry On's pretty good. I like that one. I haven't played that in a while. The latest one that I played was... It's another Castlevania, Metroidvania type game. It's got, is it Gal Guardian or something? Or Gal... Oh, I can't think of the name for the sake of my life. It's kind of blue on the cover with a little bit of red, and it looks like the same Castlevania writing. It's a little bit more 3D in respect to Metroidvania, so, but still a side scroller and everything. A lot of fun. I also like the Assassin's Creed side scrollers that were kind of Metroid Vania, so on DS, those were fun. And Vita. Vita's wasn't really side scroller, but the China, India, and oh, I forget what the other one was. Those were pretty cool. I'm getting asked why is there only one of these on this side and it's missing on that side. And that was just an art, like, creative choice. Sometimes when things are too symmetrical, I don't know, it just seems more creative sometimes to not make things as symmetrical. I think this will blend in nicely. I was gonna try to make this go a little bit more rounded over here, but yeah, nah. I just thought it looked cool. No real rhyme or reason to it. So. All right, Arts Pops, thanks for hanging out. Have a good rest of the day, and hope to catch you again. Thanks for all the questions and conversation, and means a lot. It really does. I thoroughly enjoy it. For those still watching, if you're feeling up for it, trying to think about, I'm working on some tutorial videos to kind of like do different kinds of art here and there, have different content. As far as art goes, and as far as like the kind of stuff you like to watch when it comes to those particular types of content on like YouTube and things, what would you like to see more of? Instructional videos, more ASMR, like just the time lapse with some music, Barney style, you know, very simple style art lessons, things like that, what would be the first thing you kind of look up? So I can always showcase the current work I'm doing and do time lapses, but I think kind of having some how-tos is also kind of fun. How do you do a certain technique, a certain style? Just trying to get a consensus. Raccoon, thanks for dropping in. I appreciate you attempting to send a link. I unfortunately don't follow those, but thank you. think that's looking pretty dope. I almost want to do the other side just to so you can see both. But I gotta get the values in this one first. And I'll just make everything else easier. Yeah, no, I'm aware. Yeah, no, wait till it gets down in the body here. It's gonna yeah. It's probably more darkrai than it is mimikyu as far as the body goes, but it's a pretty good balance between them. It's a wonderful mashup idea that Void gave us. So us, me, whatever. Us as viewers. Um, yeah, I think it's gonna look really dope. This should be. Thinking about my joints a little weird here. That should be like that. And this one. What I was trying to do there. Yeah, thank you. Yep. I'm not 100% impressed with my background on that one, but maybe I'll redraw it again or do something similar. And I think I just need to like keep it a little bit more simple and do like a shape icon. Almost looks like a sticker when it's all done. I think would look kind of cool. All right, I need to take a break for a little bit. Actually, I gotta get going on my other job, so I'll just end the video here then for now, and I'll be rejoining this back possibly later tonight. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Have a wonderful rest of the day.